One of the most common questions I get asked is that Adam, how do you learn languages with a full time job and other life responsibilities?
Well, it's not that difficult to do if you are smart about it.
Hello, my lovelies, my name is Adam. I speak 5 languages, and my goal is to make language learning as easy as possible for you guys.
In this video, I will explain everything about how I study my languages for hours while doing a full-time job and doing some chores. I will tell you right now, language learning is not difficult. It's we people who make it very difficult. And with my method, I study for hours every single day easily. You don't have to do it exactly like me. You can adjust it based on your lifestyle as needed. Let me show you.
To learn languages easily and more effectively, I adjusted my routine.
It starts with night. First of all, I sleep early. I sleep at 9 pm. When clock hits 9, I jump in bed. That is my rule. Since I sleep so early, I manage to easily wake up early with proper sleep. My alarm is at 6 am, but it's common for me to wake up at 5 am or even earlier. My eyes just open themselves. The first 30 minutes are spent preparing myself and making some tea. After that comes the main phase of my language learning, my main language study. Once tea is ready, I jump into learning the language. Up to 9 am, it's my main study time where I am fully focused on studying. My study type depends on what book or course I am using for that particular language. Let's just say I woke up at 6 am. Then from 6:30 to 9 am, I managed to study for 2 hours and 30 minutes. Since I am not tired and my mind is fresh, I managed to cover a lot of language easily. And I actually enjoy learning this way, as stress is minimal on my brain in the morning. And also my head is clutter free. What I managed to cover in 1 hour in morning, doing this even in 2 hours will be difficult for me if I am doing this later after office. Now comes the second phase of my learning, sight studying. After 9 am, I get dressed and prepare my motorcycle. While riding my bike, I start listening to my new language. What exactly do you need to listen to? It depends on your language level. I will explain it all in detail later. I keep listening while I am driving, while I am in office, working in the office, eating during breaks, and doing any other activity. Now my entire day passes like this. Clock hits 6 and then it's time to leave the office. Typically, I am always the last person to leave, so I have to lock the office again. At this point, it depends on my mental state, whether I want to stop listening or not. If I feel really tired, I stop listening to my new language. But mostly, I still keep listening because it really doesn't bother me. This is more like entertainment for me. When I arrive back at home, I do exercise, then eat food, and do some other things. At this point in time, I mostly talk to my family, hear local important news, and do other things. Usually, I don't study my new language here, but there are some exceptions. Then 9 pm comes.
Sometimes I am very tired and just go straight to sleep, but mostly I am still fine and active at night also.
So I go on to my phone where I have books in my new language. And also I have Facebook and YouTube channels which I created specifically for French language. I watch those and keep learning passively while getting entertained at the same time. This phase lasts for about 30 minutes to 1 hour. Then I just go to sleep and wake up early in the morning. And the same process repeats again.
And this is how I do my sight studying entire day. What exactly do you need to use for sight studies? Well, that depends on your language level.
If you are a 100% beginner, you need to listen to podcasts or audio courses that have lots of explanations for each sentence and how it works. I personally use Michelle Thomas and Paul Noble in this stage. I also made reviews about it which you can check out if you wish to use them. Both are paid audio courses. And also Language Transfer, which is actually free. There is also Coffee Break French series in many languages. I haven't used it, but I heard good things about it. So make sure to check it out. But there are lots of other podcasts, so feel free to check around. So each lesson will be on repeat until you are 100% sure that you understood everything. And then you can go to a next lesson. If you are an upper beginner A2 or B1 level, which is very low intermediate level, then podcasts with translations are good. For my French language, I used Explore French podcasts, while there were others. I found his one the best. The first podcast I started with, I remember listening it for 2 days straight. Then on the second day, when I was 100% sure it's all in my head clearly, I proceeded on the next podcasts. The reason I'm telling you this is that keep in mind that in the beginning things will be slow, lots of repetition will be required. This might take multiple days, 1 or 2 days. Later on, as you progress, you will need less and less repetitions to understand a podcast properly. After that, at mid B1 level to B2 level, you can use 100% French language only podcasts that are designed for new learners of the language. I started with in the French podcasts. They are really good, but there are many others for French and other languages. Just search and enjoy. So basically the same rule applies here. Keep listening to the same podcasts again and again until you are 100% sure. Eventually you will need to reach a level where you can understand everything on the first try, and then you can simply try one new podcast a day. At mid B2 level, try listening to podcasts with native material. For French, I use Journal of Conseil Facile podcast from RFI, Easy French podcast, and some more. I want you to understand one thing here. We are all busy with our lives, going to the office, cooking, cleaning, and doing many other chores. We have to integrate language learning into our lifestyle, and everyone has different lifestyles. This is how I learn my languages in an effortless way, and I actually enjoy it. I just feel really great that I am not wasting my time and upgrading my language skills every single day, even during what is considered as dead time. Use my language learning methodology as an example and use it to learn whatever language you need to learn.
Let me answer some common questions you guys might have.
I cannot find appropriate audio materials in my language.
First of all, most of the languages will not have this issue, but there are some smaller languages which can have these issues.
To solve this, find books that are appropriate at your level, go through them, and as you finish each chapter, record your own audio and then use that on repeat until you are 100% sure that the chapter is fully embedded in your head. This will help you in the beginning phase of language learning. After that, you will be able to find lots of audio materials easily.
There is another way to do side studies. Now I don't do this anymore.
But when I am very new in any language, I use apps also in my free time during eating, washroom breaks, and on bus, etc. Though right now, I am very advanced in all of my 5 languages, and other than Anki, I don't use any other app.
But when I will be a beginner again in my future languages, I will use apps again to help me in those first steps of language learning.
How much time should you dedicate to main study? I suggest doing at least 1 hour each day of main studying. Going below 1 hour has diminishing returns for language learning progress. How many hours of side studying do you need to do? There is no time limit on this. You can do side studying for 1 or 2 hours only, or you can side study pretty much the entire day if you are able to. Personally, I mostly study till I am back at home from the office. Does listening to audio while sleeping help in learning? Please don't do this. When you sleep, make sure everything is quiet around you. Make sure you get peaceful sleep. Doing things that disturb your sleep will have negative effects on your brain.
Alright, this is how I learn my languages for hours every single day. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to ask in comments, and I will see you guys again.